Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Safdar and you are watching Code Gallery. So we are back with the another tutorial of how to. So today we are going to see how we can set up the Angular 10 project with the GitHub repository. So please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon to never miss the update. And if you face any difficulty during the setup of our Angular app with the GitHub, please put your questions and queries in the comment section below. So without getting waste any time, let's get started. So there is some prerequisite required for this. So the first prerequisite is that you should have Node.js already installed on your system along with the Angular CLI. So we have covered that section in our previous video, so we are not going to repeat that. Second thing you require for this tutorial is you need a GitHub account. So basically GitHub repository, so we are posting or publishing our code to the GitHub repository. For that you need one GitHub account, and you need to download and install GitHub desktop app. So let's get started with that. So I assume you have already completed the first step, so please download and install Node.js and Angular CLI on your system globally. And let's just go to the GitHub official site. So I'm going to open the official site of it. So here is the GitHub official site. You can register yourself here to create the repository on a GitHub account. So please register your account here. So I'm just going to sign in my account because I have already registered my account here. So first, so we are going to see the step-by-step implementation of how to configure the repositories over a GitHub account and how we can link those GitHub repositories to our newly created project. So let's start with the first step. So the first step here is how we can set up the repository on a GitHub. So we are going to see the concept of repositories, and we will going to create a one demo repository on our GitHub account. So I'm going to the my account. So after login you can see the screen like this. So I need to create a new repository. So here is new button. So I'm going to click on this new. So it is showing me what type of repository or what will be the name of the repository here. So I'm giving a app. First I have already created a one folder here. So I'm just copying the name of that folder. So basically this folder will be our project folder. So my app source code. So the repository I'm giving the same name here. So if you want to put some description you can put here. And currently we are using a free tier of GitHub, so we need to put this public. If you are having some private subscription of GitHub, you can put your repository as a private. So we are not setting any initial readme files here because we need to create a one empty folder, and that empty folder will contain our Angular app. So I'm just leaving that as it is. Now click on the create repository. So you can see it is creating the repository. So now you can see the window like this. So it is showing that our repository is created with the GitHub account. So now we need to create the clone of the repository. So let's go to our slide. So we have created the repository. Now we need to clone the repository on your local system. So just we need to clone that repository. For that we need GitHub desktop app. just go to the repositories. Now we need a one software called GitHub Desktop to clone the repository. But if you know the git bash command, you can use that. But for the simplicity, we can download this GitHub Desktop app to clone the repository. So I have already downloaded that into my folder. So I'm just going to click here to install the exe of GitHub Desktop. So you need to just run that exe. It will start the installation for us. Yeah. So the installation is started. So once the installation gets completed, you can see the screen like this. So this is the application, GitHub Desktop. So it has many options, but like the clone a repository from the internet. So we are going to clone the repository from the internet. So just sign into your GitHub account from here. So I'm just going to sign in my account. So after signing, you can see your repositories appear here, what you have created. So for our demo purpose, we are going to use this my app demo source code which we have created for this lecture. So I'm just going to click the clone option from here. So it is showing me the first will be the URL of the GitHub repository. Second URL is related to our path, physical path where we want to set this to our local system. So we have set it this here in my app demo source. So I'm just cloning that repository right now. If you click on the clone icon, it will clone the repository to your local system. So I'm going to click that clone. So it is processing right now. So you can see that now we are successfully able to clone that repository on our local system. So here it is showing the branch name. First tab is related to the repository name. Second tab showing me the branch which is currently newly created branch, which is the master. And third is showing me some changes need to be pushed or not. So currently we don't have any changes right now. So this is how we have created the repository on our GitHub account, and we have cloned that repository to our local system. So clone is required whenever you change on your local repository that need to be pushed to the remote repository. So currently we are working on the master because we are setting the base template for our Angular project. So we are going to put all the code into the master right now. So we are just going to create a one sample project that will not have any bug right now. So till now we have created the git flow. So on git we have created one repository and we have cloned that repository to our local system. Now we need to create in a third step we need to create an Angular 10 project on a on our locally cloned repository. So for that I need to open the Node.js command prompt in admin mode. So I have already opened that. So you can see the I have already visited to the folder structure of mine. So suppose I need to create the project in this folder. So you can see the folder is empty except there is a one git folder is there to track the files. So we need to create a one project with the name my app demo source code. So I have visited the git demo here. So I need to pass the command ng new, and I am going to give the name like this, my app name. So you can see the name should be same here, and the repository name should be same with the project name. So I just need to press the enter here. So meanwhile it is getting, so yes, we need to press yes here. We need a routing, we need styles or css, so we have chosen css. Now it is installing the packages. So meanwhile, if you visit to your account, you can see there is no files currently in this master branch. But after setting that Angular 10 project, we will push this Angular 10 project into this repository, and those files will be appeared here. So currently it is this project contains no file. So once our installation completed, we will push these changes to our remote repository so that it will be available on this repository, so others can clone this repository and start their work on their feature branches. So branches altogether a different topic. We are not covering the branches section here. We just wanted to initialize the project here, so we are just putting the code into the masters, and branching will be a different topic. Suppose you need to create a one develop branch from this master, and develop contains the feature branches, so that topic altogether a different section, but we are not going to cover that in this lecture. So our Angular project installing the packages, it will take some time, so please bear with us. Still the installation of the Angular packages is in progress. Once this package is installed, we will push the changes on our GitHub repository. Now you can see our project is created. So I just wanted to open that project in VS Code. So I'm pressing the command code space dot to open that in VS Code. You can use the command present here as well. So you can see we have opened that in a VS Code editor, our project. So you can see that it is showing the U sign here. So U is untracked, means these files need to be pushed into the database. So we have created this file using our Angular CLI command. So these files need to be put to the our repository. So you can see that the node module excluded from here, because these node module should be installed on their local system. So it is installed locally, so we don't need to push these node modules onto our repository. So you can see here these files need to be put to the our repository. So currently our repository contains no files, so it is showing me this there are no files here. But as you can see in GitHub desktop application here, so in this application we have to put some comment to push this code. So here you can put some summary, it is required. So I'm putting that initial code template. So we just need to commit this to master. So commit will be locally, and publish will be update the remote branches. So I need to commit this. So I'm choosing the branch commit. So we have committed these changes locally. So still if you go to the GitHub account, you cannot find those files here, because we haven't published those changes. So using this publish So it is getting refreshed using this publish button from the GitHub desktop application. You can publish those changes to the remote repository, which is currently a master branch. So I'm going to publish the changes. So you can see publishing is in progress. Once the publishing done, you can see on your remote branches this code will be present. So publishing is in progress. So we are done with the publishing our initial template. So if you go to the GitHub and just refresh this, yeah, here you can see all the files of Angular application are checked in into the our repository. So anyone can clone from this repository, and they just need to install the npm packages. So if somebody is going to clone that application, they need to install the dependencies. So first step, if someone other person is going to clone your repository, they need to uh, run a command npm install. It will install all the required dependencies to run the project. Then you can use ngserve to serve the project, to start the project. In our example, I'm just going to run this sample project which we have just pushed to the repository. It will take some time. So our project is compiling right now, still in a compiling mode. So I believe compilation is completed. Now the building of the Angular project started. Yeah, so our project now up and running on localhost 42. So I'm just going to open that project in localhost 4200. So you can see our sample project up and running, and we have put the code into our master branches. So let's go to our, so we have seen the fourth step as well, how to push the changes on a remote repository, which is a master branch right now. So before finishing up, just you can see here there is only current branch master, but master we need highly stable code, so other developer will not have access to this branch. So we need to create a new branch. So you can create a new branch from this option. So just you need to create a develop branch. So it will be created using the master branch. Create a new branch, develop, and you can see here need to push the branch on a remote server as well. So you need to push these branches. So now the develop will be available to other developer as well. So if you go to your code gallery, you can see still there is only one branch. Now you can see there is a develop branch also there. So now we have created a develop branch. And yeah, so by using this develop branch, other developer will create a future branches. So so now we have this develop branch. From this develop branch you will create a feature branches, and that feature branches will finally merge to the develop. And once your development completed, you will merge the development into masters. So this is how a typical workflow of the master or the branching strategy in Git. So I believe, or I hope you have understood what this is the concept of the repository, and how to create Angular 10 project with the GitHub repositories, and how to push those changes onto a GitHub repositories. So thank you, and please provide your comments. if you face any difficulty during the setup. Thank you.